Greetings to everybody watching me right now. Welcome back to Shexa's YouTube channel. Today we are going to talk about a practical guide. By practical guide, what I mean is, some have been asking me how do we get tested, whether we know practicals or we do not know them. This guide is going to help you in familiarizing yourselves with interview questions, with practical questions that you might be asked by those that are using computers, or practical questions that you may ask yourself to say, how can I perform this task? So this practical guide is going to help you in doing all those things. So in this practical guide, we shall be talking about PowerPoint practical guide. We will talk about Microsoft Office word processing practical guide, and we shall also talk about Excel practical guide and simple operating system practicals. So I've prepared some simple questions that I think can help you in answering or in responding to anything which is related to these topics, practicals. So these questions, they are just meant to tell you how you respond to practical questions. They teach you, in this practical, I'm actually teaching you how to respond to practical questions on paper. So the question comes, you are supposed to write it down onto a paper like this one. For instance, like this, you are supposed to answer a question on paper, which is like this, but it's a practical question. So what I mean is, maybe somebody is working on preparing a slideshow and make a call to you and ask you a question and say, my friend, how can I perform the following task? I want to insert a footer which displays my name to show that I'm the one who designed this slideshow. You must be able to give that person a correct practical solution to say, go to this. After you've clicked that, you must be able to see ABC, then click C. After clicking C, you will see a pop-up. From that pop-up, click this command or select this option so that you can achieve your objective. So that's the main purpose of this practical lecture, practical guide. So you shall never be worried about how to answer practical questions in interviews, on phone calls, or anywhere where you might be asked these questions. Maybe it's in a test or anything of that sort. All right, let's start with PowerPoint practical questions. So the way that I'm going to take you through these things is, I will give you a question. Before I provide an answer for you, what I will do is, we perform the task and you will be seeing the steps A to Z, from starting to the end. Then I will then tell you the best way to write it down. The best way to write it down. Right. So here is the question: how do you perform the following tasks in Microsoft PowerPoint? Right. How do you insert a picture on slide number 3? So here we are assuming that the person asking this question is having a slideshow with more than with at least 3 slides. So what he or she wants to do is to add a picture on slide number 3. So how do we do that? Let's get out of this slide and then do the practical. Right, so this person is having 1, 2, 3 slides. As you can see, these are the slides. So let's say this slide, right, let's say slide number 3 is blank like this. So slide number 1, slide number 2, slide number 3. So with this slide, what the person wants to do is to add a picture. So here are the steps. Here are the steps. I know you might know how to add a picture, but what we want to familiarize ourselves with is the way to give a person the solution. So maybe you are on a call and you are telling somebody who is somewhere. You say, click on insert tab, and the person knows where the tabs are. So here are the tabs: home, insert, and so forth. So you say insert tab, click on insert tab. So click on insert, right? So under images group, click pictures command. Images, slides, tables. So images is this one, and this group contains these commands, right? So here is the pictures, a command that I've been told to click. Right, I've clicked it. Hello, I have clicked pictures, and I've observed that there is an Explorer window that has popped up. Right, you are telling the person, navigate to the picture that you want to insert. Okay, let me find the picture that I want to insert. Let's say I want to insert this picture. Let me find a picture, proper picture. Right, let me insert this picture. Right, I have navigated to it and I've clicked on it, and it's now on the slide. So thank you very much. You have assisted me on how to insert a picture. Now your task is, you are supposed to write this, and you will not be seeing this interface. The person with this interface is the person that is asking you the question, and you do not have this interface, but you are supposed to have the picture with all the steps in visual mind as you give the person a solution. So let's now get to how we write the steps. Right, so insert a picture on slide number 3. Navigate to slide number 3. That's the first step. Get to the slide where you want to insert the picture. But from the question you may assume that the person is already on slide number 3, but you should not assume that, because maybe the person does not know how yes, the person may know how to navigate to that slide, but they may think that to insert a picture on slide number 3, I may not need to navigate to slide number 3. So you need to tell the person that you need to navigate to slide number 3. So after that, what do? You click on Insert Tab. We all know the tabs. Click on Insert Tab like we did. Under Images group, click on Pictures. So the pictures is the term which exists as a command in Images group under Insert Tab. So that's why I have it in quotes. Then navigate to the picture file you want to insert. You navigate using that explorer that pops up. Then double click the picture that you want to insert. That's one option. Or you can click on it and click Insert button. You are done. The picture then is inserted onto the slide number 3. So we are done. That's how we write the steps if asked practical questions. Remember, these are just random questions that I've created so that you know how to write these steps. So I have mixed them so that you know how one can actually do the practical steps and how one can write the practical steps to tell someone to execute them. How do you save PowerPoint file as practical guide on desktop? So this is very simple, but if you want to do that, this one is termed practical guide. So instead of renaming it to practical guide, I will rename it to Shexa PG, Shexa practical guide. So these are the steps, but if you have a pen and a paper, you may write these steps in your own words, and then afterwards you compare these steps with the steps that I've written on this slide, on my slide. So here are the steps. If you have your pen and paper, take it right now. I will just count to 3 so that you get your pen and the paper, and then you start to write these steps. It's good to practice this because whenever you want to give practical solutions, you might need to put these steps on paper. So please make sure you have a pen and a paper. You write these steps. This is how you help some people. Maybe you're working on it on help desk, helping other people on how to solve these things. Right. So here are the steps. You click on file. Well, that's step number 1. Click on file. But if you have Microsoft Office version, which is 2007, you may not have this file button. So you click on this position, you will be having a Microsoft Office button, which is more like a circular button here. You click on Microsoft Office button, or you click on file. Then you click on save as. So save as is within quotes because it's a phrase which already exists. So the person is supposed to look at that exact phrase. So save as. Then you navigate. So after clicking save as, you navigate to the folder where you want to save the PowerPoint file to. and the question was asking us to save it to desktop. So I'll browse, click on browse. So I'm navigating to the desktop. So I'll select desktop. So I'm now on desktop, and then I will put the name, type in the name of the file, and we were asked to name it as practical guide, but I will name it as Shexa. My keyboard is not working well, so I'll use this one. Shexa PG, Shexa practical guide. So I click on it, I then click on save. It's now saved as Shexa PG. Let's now revert to Shexa practical guide. I can then say file. We are just repeating now. Save as, and on desktop. Then what? Practical guide. And then click on save. It's now saved as practical guide. So those are the steps that you are supposed to follow if you want to name a PowerPoint file as something else. All right, so let's resume our slide. Right, so these are the steps. How do you save your PowerPoint file as practical guide on desktop? Number one, I assume that you now have your own steps which are written in your own words on a certain paper that I've told you to choose and write the steps on. So here are the steps. Click on file. This only works if you are using Microsoft Office 2010 and above. But if you're using 2007, then you have to click on Microsoft Office button. Then the next step is to click on Save As. Then from there you navigate to the desktop. You browse, you select desktop like we did. Then after selecting that, you type in the name of the file. In this case, the name is practical guide. So you type practical guide like we did. And then you press enter on the keyboard, or you click on save. You are done. So these are the steps. So it's good to write these steps in this format. You may number them, but maybe because it's numbered as 1, maybe you may have another person 1B. You may not choose to number them because you confuse with existing numbering system. So it's good to put bullets. So in terms of bullets, let me show you how one can actually put some bullets. So bullets, when writing on paper, on paper like this, what you can do is you can write here. I now have my pen. So if you want, you may put bullets like this. Then you write your step number 1, which is click something something. Then step number 2, you write your steps. I want to delete this. So you write your other step, click on, then enter under group something something. You do that, then you say another step. So these are the bullets that I'm talking about. So you may choose just to say just line, then you put your step on that, put your step on that, put another step on that. So that's what I am talking about. But in this case, I'm using Microsoft PowerPoint to insert some bullets. So that's why you are seeing that That's why you are seeing that I have smart bullets that are different from bullets that you may have on your answer paper or on your notebook. So that's it. So let's get to the steps that we want to talk about. Now let's talk about add sound to all slides. So if you want to add sound to all slides, what we do is we go to transitions. These are the steps. We are doing it practically. So you might need to get your notes and then ask a friend, set some questions. He or she set the questions, and then you ask each other, and then you write the steps. You then check practically, is it correct? Then you are done. So here we want to set to add sound to every slide. So it doesn't matter whether you are on slide what. So you don't need to navigate to any slide, but you just need to click on transitions tab. Then under timing, you click on sound drop down. Then you select the sound. Let's say I want bomb, right? And then this, I want it to be applied to all slides as requested by the person. So after clicking apply to all, I think all slides now have the sound. Let's run the slide from the screen. Right, I'm sure that some sound is being heard. Let me test it on my headphones. Let me move to, yes, the sound is there. The sound is there. So that's it. How do we add sound to all slides? Click on transitions, then under timing, click sound drop down. From there you select the sound from the list on the drop down. Then you click on apply to all. You are done. So that's how one can add sound to all slides. Then insert a pie chart. To insert a pie chart. So to insert a pie chart, this is how we insert a pie chart. We get to this slide where we want to insert the pie chart. You click on insert, and then under illustrations, you click on chart. Then from chart window, you select the pie, or you can select any graph that you are asked to insert. Then you click on pie, then you say OK. But what happens is it will give you an Excel sheet where you are supposed to add some data, which formulates the pie chart. So I will have some fruits here and their quantities. So, or let me just say COVID new cases, and what, maybe some numbers to say first quarter is what, January, February, March, April, January to April. So January, my keyboard is gone. Let me get this one. So it's here, I say January, Jan to April. It's not typing here. It's Jan to April. Let me enter, and then press enter. Then second quarter is May to September. So I say May to September. All right, let's say enter. Then September, let's just say January, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, December. So October to December. So Oct to December. So we have these, and then we delete this one. We delete that one, so that we remain with only 3 sections. So this is COVID cases. This is COVID-19 new cases, right? And then I can enlarge that. So this one is supposed to be there. Number of new cases goes there, and then here are months. So I can say months here. Enter. Now let's say January to April, the average number of new cases it's ranging to, let me just say 500. Then press enter. Then May to September, it decreased to what? It was 500 there, and then it decreases to 300, and then it decreases to 100. So that's it. We are done. So you can close this. So we've entered our data on this Excel sheet. So we can close this. So we have 1, 2, 3, and if you check on the chart, you can see that this blue is representing January to April, and the other color is representing May to September, and the other color is representing October to December. And then we can close that, and then this is our pie chart. This is our pie chart. I can zoom it so that you can see it. So you may choose to say, I want my pie chart to be of that sort. It's now designing. So this one represents something else, this one represents something else. But if you do not want to do that, you may keep it intact like that. So that's your pie chart. But if you want to remove that to that, then that's your choice. That's how you want your pie chart to be shown. Right. So these are the steps. So the main steps are: you click on insert, you click on enter illustrations, you click on chart, enter chart, you select the pie. Then from there you say okay, you enter the data, you are done. So we're going to delete this chart because we do not need it. So here are the steps. Here we want the steps now. You keep on hearing the sound because we have added the sound earlier on, this is the question that requested us to add some. So here are the steps now that you need to put on paper. If you were following, I hope you have your steps, and here are my steps. You select pie, and then from there enter the respective data for the pie in the pop-up Excel sheet. We are done. So that's how it's done. Let's now look at some other questions that might be asked. Again, how do you perform the following tasks in Microsoft Office? Add bounce animation to existing text. So to add the bouncing text on, so we want to add bouncing text on 10 of these. So let's delete this pie chart and add some text. Let's just say insert text box here and say check how I this keyboard so jealous. So you say check how I check how I can bounce. Check how I bounce. Right, and then let's just save some textual editings here so that it becomes visible to everybody watching. Right, let's increase the size, and then maybe have it bolded. Right, so we are not here to edit some text, but we want to add bouncing. We want to add bounce animation to this text. So you highlight the text that you want to add bounce animation, then you click on animations, and then under animation you click there and select bounce. So let's test it. I check how I bounce. Okay, so we saw how you bounce, my friend. That's it. I hope somebody has taken some notes on his or her notebook. Right, so highlight text you want to apply bounce animation, then click animation step, then next you enter animation group, you click on bounce, then that's done, you are done. Let slide 3 and 4 start automatically. So how do I set slide 3 and 4 to start automatically? So to do that, what I do is slide 3 and 4, this is slide 3. Right, slide 3 and 4, these two slides are supposed to start automatically. So I click on control, or I just highlight these two. So to highlight the two, you click on control and select all the slides that you want to start automatically. And after that, you remove your control. Then you go to transitions, and under transitions, what do? You go to timing group, and then you uncheck on mouse click, and then check on after, and then you put some time. Let's just put 1 there, and then we are done. So let's test it. Let's start from scratch and see which slide is starting from scratch. So this one goes, we click on enter or next. Then this is the last point. When I say next, we get into that, but nothing pops up because it's not starting automatically. This is slide number 2, it's not starting automatically. So slide number 3 is the one that is supposed to start automatically. So you go on slide number 2. Right, and then this is the last point, and then when you click next, the next slide must start automatically to give us the first animation. So let's click there. Okay, it goes, and then we are now on slide number 4. They both started automatically. If you didn't see it, let's run again. You see, they are all running automatically. So you see it starts automatically, and slide number 4 comes in. You see, when I say that, So here are the steps. Highlight slides 3 and 4, click on transition tab. It's now running, it's now rushing because I've let it start automatically. So I will revert back to that and then start the slides again, because I do not want it to run automatically up to the end without me saying anything. So under timing, and check on mouse click like we did, under timing check after, then at the time you want your slide to advance after. Then we have another question: how do you insert a footer? All these steps, some of them we've done them in our previous lectures. So if you really need more on practical side of doing this, the hands-on thing, you go back. But here we are learning how to answer practical questions. So to insert a footer, you know how to insert a footer, but here are the steps. Click insert tab. Under text group, click header and footer. Then check the footer checkbox. Then type in the text to be added to your footer. How do you add new slide? We've added new slide previously, and here are the steps. Under home tab, under slides, click on new slide. We're done. Now let's now talk about word processing practical guide. So you know some of the things. Let me just scrape here. Right, let me find something. Let's say you are asked how do you copy text. You may say you highlight text and then you click on Ctrl C, because copying is done like this. Let's go to home. If you want to copy, we have this shortcut Ctrl plus C. So to write that, just write it as it is. You highlight text and then press, you say that Ctrl plus C, and then when you want to paste, click on the area that you want to paste the text, and then paste is Ctrl plus V. That's it. That's how you write shortcut answers to practical questions. So now let's talk about word processing practical guide. Right. How do you perform the following tasks in Microsoft Office Word? Add page numbers. We all know how to add page numbers, but I will give you a sample questions, a sample of how one can write these steps. So this is how it's done. You click on insert tab, enter head and footer. This is a group. You click on page number, select page number format from the drop down, and then it's done. Page number is already done. So if you want this, I will add a link at the end of this video on this position, or this one. You will get the link to the previous lecture. Some of you haven't subscribed, so you didn't. I am sure you didn't see the lecture. I didn't share it with most of you, but now I'm sharing it with you. So get access to that previous lecture, because it helps you in some Microsoft Office Word practicals, and some of the issues are highlighted here. How do you center your content? To center your content, you do it this way. You highlight content to be centered. From there, you click on Home tab, and there under paragraph, click the center icon. Or these are other steps, but when you are asked, you just give us one way. Here I'm just giving you more options. Then you highlight here, you can highlight content to be centered. Then after that you press on, when we say press, we are now talking about the keyboard. So you press on Ctrl+E. So I will show you how to do this. I will open a Word document. How do you add confidential on all pages as your watermark? As you click, I think we have done all this previously, so we do not need to go back to practicals. I just show you here. But for the sake of those who missed the previous lectures, I will show you how we do all these things in a few rushing minutes, if not seconds. Under page background group, you click on watermark drop down button or command, select confidential watermark template which already exists, and you are done. Or you can check on text watermark corresponding to text, enter text to appear as your watermark, then click on apply and close. So this is these are other steps. Then here are more questions about word processing practical. I'm just giving you a hint on how you can be asked about practical questions. So what is the purpose of columns command in page setup group of layout tab? This is your homework. I'm just giving you homework. Describe all steps involved in spelling and grammar check. You see, previously the question was saying how do you perform these following tasks. It's just the same with this one. It's how do you perform the following task, which is spelling and grammar check. The next is describe all steps involved in adding new upper in-text citation using automated referencing. Right. I think I'm going to have another lecture where we will talk about referencing. But even if we fail to have that lecture, we have covered this in our previous lecture. But the next lecture is going to be in depth, and we will be using Microsoft Word automated referencing and manually automated referencing. So it will be deeper than what we covered previously. So I recommend that you make sure that you watch all the lectures that we have covered on this YouTube channel, those that are respective to those that are relevant to your research areas or to your study areas. So this is it. So let's open a Word document and apply these steps. How do we add page numbers? Let's just open Word. Search for what? Search for Word. Here it is. So let's just wait for some seconds as this Word document opens. Right. I want to see some likes coming on my way on this YouTube channel. Let me open I'm just creating a document and then say enter nonsensical text here. And then copy it all, and then Control C, and then Control V, Control V. more than one pages. Right, and now you have 3 pages, so that's fine. So what I want to do is to insert what is it that I'm supposed to do? And add page numbers. So here we add page numbers. Say insert, enter head and footer. Where is head and footer? Here, page number, drop down. I want it to appear on the top. So, and I want it on the top left corner, like that. So my page numbers will appear there. I'm done. All pages are now having page numbers here. Page 2, and here is page 1. So I'm done. And center your text content. How do I center text content? Okay, let's have this is the text, right? Let's just highlight the text and then enter home tab, paragraph. This is the center, so it's not centered. You may say it's not centered because you may not see, you might not be seeing that this page was zoomed to above 100%. So it's not centered. If you want it to the left, to the right, you can highlight it and then click to the right. So the previous lecture is the one which covers this insertion of page numbers and text alignment and paragraphing. I've done that lecture because somebody asked me when we were doing Word practical. That person asked me to repeat paragraphing, so I did repeat paragraphing on that previous. Center text, add confidential on all pages is watermark. I will do all the steps. So get back, so under design, watermark, then custom watermark. That's second option or second set of steps. Then text watermark, and then here we say confidential. We write confidential there. So I want it to be in caps, so I click there. Confidential is this one. Conference. So I want it to be written there. Confidential, right, like that. And then I can say apply, and then it's done. So you might not see it, so let's just give it another color and then apply it, and then we are done. Close it. So confidential is now there. It's there. It's now appearing as our watermark on all pages. But the other way is you can click on watermark here, and then we already have confidential one, which is diagonal, and this one is horizontal, and this one is diagonal as well. But it's not confidential. It's do not copy. So these two are the templates that already exist. So that's it. Let's now check on other questions. So these are the 3 questions, and then these 1, 2, 3 are your homework. Go and do these 3, and then let's look at Excel practical guide. So let's just end here for today. Let's just end here for today. Please don't forget to subscribe. Do not forget to like, subscribe, and please share with with your friends. Share the link of this lecture with your friends. So your like is very important, your comment is also important. Then if you share, then I will be so grateful. And most importantly, do not forget to subscribe so that you do not miss out new videos that I upload on this YouTube channel. So the next concept that we're going to cover is about Excel practical guide and simple operating system practical guide. So that's it for today. We have covered how you write practical shortcuts like Ctrl+C for copy, Ctrl+C, and then how you can give steps in answering practical questions on paper. So that's it. The main aim of those that will be asking you practical questions is to know how to perform them, and the person, take note that the person that is asking you does not know how to do it, but is having the interface, and assume that you yourself, you do not the interface part, you have it in your mind. So you will be seeing the interface that person is having, and then you will be telling that person to say, if you want to insert a watermark, a watermark called confidential, what you do is you click on design tab. From design tab, then you click on watermark drop down. Then from there you can select confidential watermark template, which is already existing, or you may click on text watermark, and then under text you type in the text that you want to add as your watermark. That's it. So goodbye guys, enjoy the rest of your day, the rest of your 2021. I wish you all the best in everything that you do in life, and the other thing is please stay safe, wear your masks like this, and sanitize yourselves, keep social distance, and do not get involved in some activities which violate these regulations. Thank you very much. Enjoy everything or anything that you'll be doing next.